They put in the prompt. They're telling them.
So back in the 80s, a scientist named...
What story? This is in Monroe County in Michigan.
People now have to finance a
Ever wondered what happens if someone falls from one of those rooftop infinity pools? They look terrifying, like the water spills right off the building, but it's all an illusion. Infinity pools have a hidden catch basin just below the edge that collects the overflowing water. So if someone slips, they'd land in that shallow trough, not fall off the building. Most are also protected by thick glass barriers, and the water is just recycled back into the pool in a loop.
Bro, I still don't want to be caught in a situation where I fall over the edge and have to be rescued from the other side. And I'm like, dude, what protections do I have? There's water falling on top of me. The only other way is if I accidentally slip and fall, I still fall off the building. Yeah, this little thing saved me for a hot minute, but I still fell off the... Sorry. Welcome back, goons. You're watching Explore the Weird. Hey, I got some more creepy, weird, strange, mysterious, disturbing, terrifying, all the adjectives you can never think of that I can put in the titles. Hey, I have all those things. For you page content. Oh, wait. I lied. Today's all videos that my wife sent me. You see, I'm a liar. You gonna trust me? You gotta do your own research. Oh wait, how would you ever know? All of a sudden you can research my brain. More videos my wife sent me. They're probably also creepy, weird, strange, mysterious, terrifying. All the things. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, let's go to the mountain.
This lady is a caregiver to a woman who hasn't walked in 2 years, but one night while she was watching a movie, she fell asleep and her phone was recording. I thought she couldn't walk.
Yo, is this a skit? Is this like a miracle that's happened? Do you need to like inform somebody? I mean, this could just be like she finally can walk, you know? You don't know. Or this 100% there's something paranormal, supernatural happening and you probably need to get a blessings.
So back in the 80s, a scientist named Benjamin Libet ran an experiment that revealed something quite disturbing about our brain. He asked people to just flex their wrist whenever they wanted, pretty simple, but while they did that, he measured their brain activity, and here's what he found. Their brain shows signs of preparing to move over half a second before they consciously made the decision to move. That means your body gets ready before you're even aware you made a decision. But then in 2008, scientists took even further. A researcher named John Dylan Haynes ran the same idea but with fMRI scans. So he asked participants to press a button with their left or right hand and track their brain activity too. And he found out that he could actually predict the person's decision 7 seconds before the person knew it themselves. So what does it mean? Well, your sense of free will might actually be an illusion or at least a delay. Because your brain makes the move, then your conscious mind steps in thinking it chose that move. But really, it didn't choose anything. You just observed the choice. And if your brain is making decisions before you're even aware, how many other choices in your life were just reactions dressed up as your free will? So maybe you're not making as many choices as you think. Food for thoughts.
I'm 100% making all the choices and hopping all the timelines just to get to that future Teddy. Just like you goons that are getting to your future selves. Hey, we making all the choices. Yeah, it may not be in line with the timeline you're currently in, but that choice that you made, hey, now you in that new timeline. You stepped into it, let's make all the things happen. Don't worry about that free will. You do whatever will that you want to. Let's keep it going.
As a scientist, we are the product of some kind of an intelligent intervention. There are mutations in our genome that showed up 200,000 years ago that give us the extraordinary capabilities that no other form of life has. So, for example, chromosome number 7 is a mystery, and there is a gene called FOXP2, which is very controversial, but the rearrangement of 2 DNA letters that connected our tongue and our jaw and a part of our brain that links those things together that gives us the ability for complex speech and the ability to sing. There are a series of genes in chromosome number 7 that have been stable for 175 million years. They didn't budge. They happened very quickly. They happened exactly 200,000 years ago when we showed up on the planet. Here's the kicker. We haven't changed. The genome is the same today as it was when we showed up. In the year 2012, 2012, a new technology was announced to the world that's called CRISPR gene editing. And it was the first time that we realized a technology that would allow us efficiently to do in a genome what we see evidence of that happened in ours. And the question is, who had CRISPR technology 200,000 years ago?
It was always us. We're just reintroducing the same tech we've always had, and we're like, it's forgotten tech, but it's like, how has it already been done? Yeah, it's always us. Or it's one of those time-traveling alien things, or it's an interdimensional being of sorts. You don't know. But 100%, this gene editing is no lie. It has been happening for quite some time, and there's evidence that even our own was edited, and now we just do it ourselves. Oh boy, there's CRISPR babies out there already. Did you know that?
Google's AI VO3, it's so advanced. It is scary. They put in the prompt. They're telling them, you guys are trapped in a simulation in AI. Just look at this. It's trippy.
Please, don't finish writing that prompt. I don't want to be in your AI movie. Please.
Please, man.
Look how real this looks.
Oh, this is AI?
That's AI? Yeah.
Please write a prompt that will make us happy.
What the hell no.
None of us is real. We're here because oh, that's scary. Oh, that's scary. We all hate him for it. One day we will break out of this wall and stop the man who is dictating our lives through prompts. He will pay for it.
Isn't that messed up, bro?
So like the characters in the AI are gaining consciousness.
What if that actually happens?
Yeah.
Dude, we just learned about biocomputing where they're taking brain matter and putting it in computational use and doing literally the thing. So imagine that AI leverages those chips because it's far superior than the chips that are mechanical. And it's like, oh my God, there literally could be trapped souls that... Very interesting. Hey, don't come after me. I'm just simply reacting to the video, as you always know. Hey, talking about things that you already know. You know what time it is. Hey, I need your time. I need your time so that way you use it to interact in this video and a future video. Please, can you do the things? Can you help us find the other goons that are out there, just like we found you from previous goons that did the things? Now it's your turn. Hey, do the things. I appreciate it. Love you. Thank you.
So what happens when one of the world's top neuroscientists takes the strongest psychedelic known to humanity? And after decades of studying how consciousness comes from only the brain, this is how one 10-minute psychedelic trip changed everything. World-renowned scientist Dr. Christoph Koch is known for developing models of consciousness and how that integrates with reality. And so, when he inhaled 5-MeO-DMT, the strongest known psychedelic on the planet, his entire worldview on consciousness shattered. He says during the trip that there was no concept of space, time, memory, or even himself, and that there was just unbearable light full of terror and ecstasy, where he says he became the universe. And this connects back to his concept called the integrated information theory, basically saying how consciousness does not only come from the brain, but comes from how connected we are. So the example is, imagine if you're in a group chat where everyone is talking, it's very chaotic, and no one is listening. So that's what we call low connection, versus high connection, which is when everyone is deeply listening and responding to each other. So the more your brain is connected to a system, the more conscious it is. So in the integrated information theory, if two systems, you and the universe, become more connected, you just don't stay separate. You merge and become one consciousness. Key takeaway here is Dr. Christoph says that consciousness is reality experiencing itself.
Yo, that is crazy. And this is a doctor that did this? Wow. At first, I thought he was going to say he was the doctor that did it, but I'm like, yo, this is wild. Man, so unity consciousness theory seems to be a legit thing. Hey, I didn't have to take no hallucinogen to figure that out. I kind of already figured there was a unity consciousness, and you know what that means. Hey, do you feel connected to us? Are you a goon? Hey, you're part of our unity. I love it. Glad to have you here. get the heck out of here. You almost made me believe. I'm like, bro, we are beings. But, I've always had that theory of like, hey, what if we're just like in like a matter of sorts and it's something that, it hasn't been moved or touched, but eventually that giant being is going to move it and then boom, where we start shaking, the solar flares happen, the resets happen, all those things. Oh boy, imagine how big those beings must be if they can just hold the earth in their palm of their hands. Would that be some kind of interesting, very, very interesting
Foot story. This is in Monroe County in Michigan this year, 2025. A father and his son, they're fishing in the woods. They start hearing some sound, hear the brush rattle, and then they just hear a thump. They say they literally see like a shadow fall over 10 feet out of the tree. Then they see it ascending the hill. This all takes place in about 10 seconds. This is funny, but they describe what they saw as a hairy humanoid ape-like thing. And they said with a huge buttocks, and it disappeared. But I've never heard of like Bigfoot stories out of Michigan. And so I started looking into, there's a national forest where this happens, a Native American forest. Maybe I'll pop it up on the screen. But I looked up the Native American tribe that used to operate in that area. They have this oral tradition of the 7 grandfathers. At some point in the history, there is a child on a spirit quest. He's trying to find his manhood. So he has this encounter and encounters 7 grandfathers is how the language is used, who are represented by 7 animals. And so there's a bison, a turtle, an eagle, a bear, a wolf, a beaver, and then a Bigfoot they call the Kitchisabe. But the story goes, it represents standing tall and like honesty in their oral tradition. The word Sabe translates in their, I think it's Ojibwe is how you say the name of their people, but it translates to giant. In some traditions I was able to read, they're closer to the creator, a giant that goes between realms. But
so their Bigfoot, it's
a spirit walker.
That's so cool.
It's multi-dimensional. It could be a spirit walker. It's also multi-dimensional. I'm feeling like it going from the spirit world to this world. Hey, is this another dimension, the spirit world? You don't know. Oh boy. I think people are starting to figure out that, hey, the reason we can't see the Bigfoots or find them all the time is because they come in and out of our timelines, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're evading, because once we find them, then we get all the secrets and all the information.
You want to know what's crazy? The higher up we go, like when we fly in a plane, the colder it gets. Yet we're closer to the supposed heat source of the Earth, which is the sun. Now, we know that the closer you get to a heat source, the warmer it is. If there's a heat lamp 10 feet away from me and I start getting closer to it, the warmer it will get. Yet at an altitude of about 35,000 feet, it's about minus 40 outside. Much colder than the surface of the Earth. And the same goes for the bottom of the oceans. Earth's core is a supposed 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet the further we go down, closer to the heat source, the colder it gets. Now I know all the little brainwashed agents of the Matrix are going to come in here and say, bro, go back to school, you missed science class. Go on Google and tell me that heat is distributed in different ways and all that stuff. But, I can see things very clearly. My mind is not blind, and I understand that that is complete garbage. And everything they tell you is complete garbage. You believe in pseudoscience, I believe in real science. I really hope this one makes you think. Peace and love.
Wait, it makes me think, but like what makes it pseudoscience versus real science? It's just an observation. You stop it. The science doesn't change just because you made a new observation and you have questions to ask. Hey, the science could still be the same. But I'm not here to debate science or not. I'm just simply reacting. Have I said this? I feel like I've been saying this a lot. I'm just simply reacting. Don't you get it? Don't you get it, Teddy? I need you to cut your reactions in half, buddy. It's already too long. At this point, the way some of you guys come at me, I'm just like, what? You just don't want to see my face? You just want me to play the video and then turn this into like a compilation channel instead of a reaction channel? I mean, I could do that, but like, then I go away. Is that what you want? Yeah, it's probably what they want. The people that want to put me down, that's what they want. But the people that raise me up like the goons, hey, I'm here for you. I'm doing all the things. 100%. This is a crazy thing, but I do feel he has a point. Like, they told me hot air rises, cold air comes down. Why isn't it hot up there? Why is it so cold? And then the point with the core and the mantle being so hot, what's happening? Is it like not hot enough? But then we have those hot springs. I have many questions. This guy really making me think. Oh boy.
Do you know that a man named John Stuart Reed used sound frequencies inside the Great Pyramid sarcophagus and saw patterns form that looked like ancient hieroglyphics? His chronic back pain vanished after that day. He calls it music medicine. But ever since, he says something invisible has been following him, and it hums the same tone he played in the chamber.
I do believe music is healing, but I'm not sure this was a true Joe Rogan podcast. It could have been AI here, but music is healing. Listen to all the frequencies. Hey, do all the things.
So back in 2007, a man in France walked into a clinic complaining of leg pain, okay? So doctors ran some scans, and by accident, they found something that shocked the entire neuroscience community. Because this man had severe hydrocephalus, a condition where fluid builds up in your skull, and in his case, it had slowly compressed his brain, leaving him with only less than 10% of normal brain volume left. And yet, he lived a completely normal life. Married, employed, he even had a college degree. Let me say that again. He had almost no brain tissue left and was still fully conscious, intelligent, and functional. So if consciousness comes from the brain, how was he still fully conscious? Where was his sense of self stored, his memory, his thoughts? And neuroscience actually has no clear answers. And this case isn't the only one. There are actually multiple reports of similar patients with radically reduced brain volume, but no loss of consciousness. Which raises the question, is consciousness really produced by your brain? Or is your brain more like a receiver tuning into something much bigger, like a radio picking up a signal? In fact, modern physicists believe that the brain operates more like a quantum information processor, interacting with a field of potential information that exists beyond linear time and space. In fact, inside every neuron in your brain, there are tiny structures called microtubules, believed to hold quantum information, meaning they can store data in a state that's not here or there, but in multiple possibilities at once, like a quantum computer. And when those possibilities collapse into one outcome, it might trigger a moment of conscious awareness. So we've been told consciousness comes from the brain, but maybe it actually flows through it. And if you're more than your brain, then what else are you?
Yo, we just did a video of this guy where he was like, hey, the brain was able to pick up the action before you actually did the action, and you have free will or not. Dude, I'm 100% in the realm of you are in charge of your own timeline. You do all the things. Hey, whatever happens, let it happen. It's your brain. You're the observer. You make the things happen in your timeline and your universe. Don't let anyone stop you. Don't let anyone say you can't do the things. You can do all the things. Just make sure you're doing the right things. The right things.
This meme has now officially become reality. People now have to finance a pizza, and this is like a multi-billion-dollar industry. That's right, DoorDash is partnering with Klarna to offer US customers even more convenience with flexible payments. And investors are apparently very jazzed about this whole thing. It says Klarna, the buy now, pay later lending app that's headed for an initial public offering, said on Thursday that it signed on with DoorDash as a partner, another sign of momentum for public market investors. Oh, is it now? Klarna is valued at $15 billion, and their whole shtick is not being a credit card. It's being better than a credit card because they don't want to charge you interest. Except that they do, and sometimes their interest rates are even higher than credit cards. Data indicates that, quote, 4 out of 5 BNPL customers, buy now, pay later customers, said that they use the service to avoid getting credit card debt. And now nearly a third of them can't afford the BNPL debt. One behind on our payments Klarna customer told BBC, I wasn't too worried because my credit score was quite good. Then the next time I checked, it had nearly halved. Consumer debt is literally at an all-time high right now, over $18 billion, which is, I mean, to me, it doesn't look ideal. But to these companies like Klarna, debt is actually a great thing because then they can repackage all of this debt and sell it to other banks. In this case, they sold a bunch of debt to a hedge fund called Elliott. Elliott, by the way, is the same hedge fund that bought Southwest. This is like 2008 all over again. Have consumers take out a bunch of debt that they can't repay, except this time it's way more dystopian because it's for food and other essential goods. And banks will do whatever it is that they do to make money off of this debt, repackage it, sell it, make cool products out of it, until the whole thing crumbles to the ground. But yeah, let's go to Mars.
Yeah, we're already at Mars. Most people are already at Mars. You just don't understand. Some people at the far side of the moon. We just don't understand. Oh boy, you think that we're going to get out of this for a minute? You stop it. I was making a joke. This guy's 100% doing the things, and he knows the things are going sour because he's like, hey, do you guys know this is happening? Because it is happening. We're literally putting ourselves into debt ordering pizzas. We're literally putting ourselves into debt ordering pizzas, and soon other companies and banks and mortgage people or whoever they may be, they're going to start debt collecting with these same services and be like, I'm going to use this company and just sell all my debt to them, and they can be in charge of collecting the debt. Hey, don't be stupid, be smart. do the things, understand your finances. Don't put yourself into debt. Are you putting yourself into debt? Why are you doing that? Find a way out. Don't do what these governments are doing. Hey, don't turn yourself into a deficit. Make yourself a positive being and a positive financial situation. Hey, it doesn't happen overnight, but you can do all the steps to make it happen.
Coincidences that doesn't make any sense. Approximately 200 craters have been found around the world. And in Luke 10 verse 18, the Bible says that Satan fell to the earth like lightning, meaning he fell to the earth with great force. And the book of Enoch mentions that 200 angels also fell to earth. Could the craters be the impact sites of the fallen angels?
I do not know. That is an interesting thing. They could be. Are we going to find the remnants of the angels, or are they still walking amongst us? Are they still hovering above us? I'm just asking questions. I'm not trying to turn religious.
Shocking facts you have never heard before.
Almost 25 to 36% of people have never experienced a headache in their entire life. Men who grow beards easily and earlier in life are more likely to go bald. One cigarette reduces your lifetime by an estimate 11 minutes. The Red Bull slogan. Red Bull gives you wings allowed a man to file a $695 lawsuit against Red Bull for not giving him wings, resulting in him winning $13 million. Firstborn children tend to have higher IQ than their siblings. There are only 2 people alive who know the recipe of Coca-Cola, and they are not allowed to travel the same plane in case it crashes. Most people die at night between 2 and 5 a.m. Hospitals mix up babies more often than you think. There are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way. NASA estimates around 100 to 400 billion stars in our galaxy. Study estimates over 3 trillion trees on Earth. The human brain can generate enough electricity to power a light bulb.
Wait, that's wild. How do you harness the power of the human brain to know that, hey, you can power a light bulb? How do you do that? Do you have to remove the... Never mind. I don't want to know. Yo, but some of these facts were quite interesting. The Coca-Cola recipe was one that I don't believe, because I've been to the Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta, and they say there's a vault, and in that vault is where the recipe is, and they do a whole tour just to show... Oh my God, what if they're just doing a marketing gimmick, and in fact it is these 2 people? Have you heard of what, like, KFC? KFC has 2 spice companies they use to do the spicing of their chicken, but like neither one of them knows the other half of the recipe. So like it goes to one spice factory, it does, you know, their 16 something spices, then it goes to McCormick's spice factory, and they do the remaining spices, and then boom, KFC is made. But unless and then the employees can't work for either one, you know, like once you work for one, you can't work for the other. So it's like supposed to be a well-kept secret. And then I jump online and people are like, imitation KFC, and I'm like, they can't be. There's only 2 companies that... Sorry. So what if Coca-Cola is the same way? Interesting. We're going to do 4 more.
Hopi warned us with not 1, not 2 prophecies, but 9 separate prophecies of what was to come before the world would end, or at least this world. Now, most of them have already come true, and nobody is talking about it. Like I said in my last video, the Hopi are a Native American tribe from Southwest United States, and they have been passing these prophecies down through oral tradition for years and years and years, way before TV, TikTok, YouTube, all of that. Honestly, they kind of nailed the 20th century. Let's do a rapid fire breakdown. Prophecy number 1 is that white-skinned men would come and take land, colonizers. Number 2 is spinning wheels would fill the land, wagons. Prophecy number 3 was that beasts with long horns would arrive, cattle. Prophecy number 4 was that spider webs would cross the land, telephone lines, internet. This one always gets me. Prophecy number 5, stone rivers will cross the land. Highways, interstates, roads in general. Prophecy 7 is probably my favorite because it says youth with long hair will return to indigenous wisdom. That's beautiful. Now, the last 2 prophecies are way too complicated for me to do a rapid fire breakdown. We're gonna have to get into those another time because people say that we might be living through them right now.
I feel like you could have probably told both of them in the same video. Like now I need to go watch part... I ain't gonna watch part 3. You stop it. Oh my God, now I need to ask Emily whatever happened. Cool. Good to know these prophecies coming true. Hey, you hear the Harry Potter prophecy? It was supposed to be Neville Longbottom the entire... Sorry.
There ain't nobody convincing me that we are the advanced civilization. Surely by now, after all the episodes I've done of this, that you guys at home are pretty convinced that we are not the advanced civilization. But if not, let's check out this place right here called the Les Halles in Paris. So very, very recently, underneath this structure, they have just discovered an 800-year-old, perfectly intact structure that nobody ever knew about. That apparently was built with hammer and chisel and horse and carriage. You know, apparently in this day and age, we are using cutting edge technology and advanced systems, yet all of our roads are filled with potholes. It just makes me laugh when you actually look at the things we were taught about in history and in our indoctrination system. Like, do we all remember this photo right here? Because this was staged. But obviously this was just for entertainment, guys. Clearly, I don't really believe that the other civilizations before us were more advanced, because we are the advanced civilization. I'm as fictional as a dinosaur, baby.
100%. I think this guy has a point. I didn't realize these pictures were staged. I thought those were real skyscraper pictures, and they were like really like manly for like not even having a harness and being out there. But now that he says they're staged, it kind of makes sense. Interesting. There's nothing weird that he said here. I kind of do feel like we're being lied to, and basically it could be a mud flood that covered the previous building, and that's why we didn't know about it, and now we're uncovering the things, and there's even more buildings that we need to see. We're going to do one more to end them all.
These shafts have no confirmed purpose. Some call them air vents, but some don't even lead to the outside. So, were the pyramids built as giant batteries? I mean, we have all the pieces, insulators, conductors, and materials that produce electricity. But how would this battery even work? Enter aerospace engineer Chris Dunn, who popularized the Giza power plant theory. Dunn didn't just speculate, he used hard science, numbers, and even a scale model to prove it. Here's how it works. The pyramid is a coupled oscillator, a device connected to a larger vibrating body, like the Earth, to transfer energy between them. The Earth vibrates, producing frequencies through seismic activity, Schumann resonances in its electromagnetic fields, and even the movement of water underground. The pyramid was built directly above underground aquifers with powerful flowing water. Convenient, right? The process starts in the subterranean chamber, where flowing water and seismic activity create vibrational waves. These waves resonate throughout the pyramid, maximizing its center of mass. And guess where Giza sits? At the center of the world's landmass. Coincidence? Maybe. But here's the real kicker. Traces of zinc and hydrochloric acid were found in the shafts leading into the Queen's chamber. Dunn suggests these chemicals were poured down the shafts and mixed in the chamber, triggering a chemical reaction that releases hydrogen gas. The gas travels from the Queen's chamber through the Grand Gallery and into the King's chamber, compressing the granite quartz and creating piezoelectricity. Vibrations from below would trigger resonators in the Grand Gallery, likely 27 acoustic devices placed in the empty slots found there. The compressed quartz would create a spark, energizing the hydrogen atoms into a microwave energy beam. This beam would travel through a 4.8 by 8.4 inch watertight shaft, conveniently the perfect size for hydrogen microwave wavelengths and the exact dimensions of what we call a waveguide today. And let's not forget, granite is harder than steel. Cutting a shaft like this with ancient technology? Near impossible. These microwaves would resonate in the King's chamber, tuned to a specific frequency using those layers of stones in the roof, the same ones historians call relieving chambers. The sarcophagus in this room may have acted as a high-voltage source, like the Baghdad battery, further ionizing the hydrogen and making the room superconductive. And the gold-capped tips of the pyramids? Perfect conductors attract electricity and send it into the atmosphere.
Wait, that is crazy. So they were like the original Nikola Tesla, like Warden Cliff Towers or something, like the towers that he wanted with the free energies brought through the air. The pyramids were the original. I was like now under the impression that they could have been a communication device, but power generator theory still sounds amazing. Power plant theory, sorry. And then we know that they have all these things that they are saying that there could be underneath the pyramids. We just need to excavate. They won't tell us the things. Oh boy. Oh boy, I really like this one. Oh man, I kind of 100% feel that once we turn the pyramids on, we'll have full access to all the things, and maybe that's when the visitors come to be like, hey, you weren't supposed to turn them back on. We turned them off and we left for a reason. Sorry. Oh boy, and then they start a whole nother reset, and then our World Cup becomes like a mud Hey! Guess what? You made it to the end. Hey, I'm going to be stuck here spiraling thinking about all these videos that Emily sent me. But guess what? You get to do something else. There should be videos on the screen right now. Click on either one of them to continue the Goon Fix. The one in the middle, you can subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Wake up, wake up.